And Wion Kartikeya Sharma is closely tracking the developments and the way the investigation is proceeding in Istanbul. He's joining us now on the broadcast. Let me begin by asking you, Kartikeya, there is, of course, that key meeting between Turkey and Saudi Arabia's officials, all set to take place shortly. What is expected to emerge out of that meeting? What is the agenda? And is this a secret meeting of sorts? Because the two sides have not very openly spoken about this meeting.
See, it's not a secret meeting, but I would say it's a confidential meeting between the Turkish and the Saudi counterpart. The Saudi prosecutor is going to meet the Turkish prosecutor. The Saudis have clearly said that they're not going to hand over the 18 culprits who were involved in the savage, barbaric murder of Jamal Khashoggi in the Saudi Consulate in Istanbul. That's not going to happen. They will be tried in Saudi Arabia. So there's a bit of a deadlock there. But I think the nature of the meeting is such that the Turkey will tell them that they have ample proof. You see, the problem here is that there is a nature of evidence which can violate the Convention, and it is for this reason that the Turkey has not gone out officially and said that this is the list of the evidence. Because, you know, for example, how did they obtain the audio? Has the Saudi consulate been bugged? So the narrative of the story has not gone on the violation of the Vienna Convention, but on the fact that the Saudis have been involved in a major power play with Turkey, and Khashoggi was one part of it, which is to undermine the credibility of Turkey as a place which is not good for journalists and human rights.
Right, and Kartikeya, as we've been discussing all along, this is a case which has far-reaching implications for these two countries specifically and will impact their relationship in the long run.
I think now it's a bit more than the murder of a journalist in the consulate. It's more about the power play between Turkey and Saudi Arabia. It's also about the ambitions of the Turkish President Erdogan. It's also about the way Mohammed bin Salman wanted to dominate West Asia. It is also about, I would say, a lack of experience of Mohammed bin Salman. It's also about Turkey changing the game. You know, Saudis had been dominating. They were pretty reckless when it came to Qatar, Yemen. They had their war. You know, they had their own position in Syria. But the Turkey that way has played its cards very well. And one has to understand that it's only after 1979 and 80 onwards that the Saudis started to use the custodian of the two most holy shrines of Islam, something which the Ottomans, the titled Ottomans, had for 450 years. So it's also about that collision of the two worldviews. Though Turkey is a secular country and Saudi Arabia is a regime, I would say it's a family and a family which blends religion and politics into one. So, you know, two distinct perspectives and the idea of West Asia is at play. And I think Khashoggi's murder is one episode in that larger rhythm of life here where Saudi regime change is taking place and the person at the helms of affair is trying to promote himself with the help of Donald Trump, the American president. But now I think things will change for one simple reason, that the credibility of the Saudi regime has been impacted and the credibility of Mohammed bin Salman has been damaged irreparably.